What's up? How's it going? If for some reason the algorithm has fed you this video, hi, I'm Mobby Nerd, and today I'm going to talk to you about roller coasters. Listen, friends. For the longest time, my dream has been to go to this theme park, this magical place called Fuji Q Highland. And finally, after years, I got to set foot in this theme park twice. I am happy. That's why I'm wearing my Fuji Q shirt with a dinosaur on it. See that? It's a dinosaur. Some roller coasters in the background. It says, wow. Very cool. I got my hat. I don't know what it says. You can tell me what this says. I don't know what it says. It probably says I am an idiot for all I know. I wouldn't know. But I got compliments for it, so it can't be too bad.
Did you spot the thrill seeker on this ride? They're not having a good time.
So consider this my unfiltered thoughts on the theme park, my experience there, and how it stacks up to theme parks that I've gone to in America. Let's go. So for those that don't know, what is Fuji Q? Fuji Q Highlands is a theme park in Japan that is right near the base of Mount Fuji. Well, maybe not like right near it, but you can see the mountain. It's pretty damn close to Mount Fuji. And it's a beautiful sight, first of all. Very beautiful sight, but also such a fun park. I've been to a lot of theme parks, and Fuji Q really just hits that sweet spot of like not being too huge, but being cozy and fun.
Chilly, isn't it?
It's a little nippy.
I mean, it's got the Hidden Leaf Village in it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Me and my friend Snugglechu made our way to the park, and unfortunately only had a very limited amount of time to enjoy things because the park, it closes at 6. They do not stay open very late, but they do open up early. But let's start with the rides. Let me talk about the rides, all right? We got the Fujiyama, the king of coasters. Fujiyama, go. Okay, I'm gonna stop, but like that's what the ride says before it takes off. So before you call me cringe, that ride was an experience. Me and my friend, we rode it for the first time. We had our face masks on and we almost lost it on the ride.
Just got off of Fujiyama, a record-breaking roller coaster. And what are your thoughts so far on the ride? Because I have some for myself.
I couldn't scream. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't.
I
When we were going down.
I heard the faintest woo!
I feel like my insides were going up into my chest and it wouldn't let me scream out.
Yeah. It was, that was the longest ride I've ever been on in my life. It just kept going. Seeing Mount Fuji, riding by people waving at us there, it was such an experience. That was such a wild ride.
That was the last thing I saw before I said, I'm convinced I'm dead.
You're deceased. Dude is deceased right now. I'm deceased. I love that ride. I would ride it again.
There's a sky deck that it circles around where you see people waving at riders as they go through. It's such a fun experience that it made the ride that much more cool. King of Coasters, very fun roller coaster. I'm not sure if it's the record-breaking coaster that it claims to be anymore, and I don't care. The best I could compare that to was Steel Vengeance. Well, Steel Vengeance was a fun ride in its own right, and I'd love to ride that again. I'd put Fujiyama up there with Steel Vengeance. I think Fuji Q Highland strikes a balance between having a wide enough variety of attractions and just other things sprinkled throughout the park. There's like this area that's this beautiful like grassy plain that you can just lay on or sit down and eat crepes on with a little food truck next to it. It's really scenic and pretty. You have these colorful lines that guide you through the park so you know how to get to each section of the park and what attractions. Everywhere you look, there's a crepe stand, a food stand, there's something. Fuji Q is just a fun park. But on top of that, it does things a little bit differently. Some things that I thought were kind of weird. So I've been to a lot of theme parks, and usually the boarding process for a ride is like, hey, keep your arms and feet inside the train. They push down on the lap bar. All right, you're good. Get out of here. They send you down the ride, right? At Fuji Q, it seems as though you have to listen to an entire TED Talk before you can get on the rides. And I don't know if that's always been the case or if that's new policy, but it is kind of funny. A large chunk of the wait time in line was attributed to listening to proper seating posture protocol before getting on the ride. I gotta talk about the Enjinaka. I probably butchered it. This ride is described as a fourth dimensional hypercoaster. And you know what? That's accurate. because this ride has you doing loops. You are spinning in your seat. The only roller coaster I've ever been on in my life where you have to take your shoes off before you get on the ride. For a good reason. It would suck to get nailed by a shoe on this ride. You are going with so much force that, yeah, I think you would lose your shoes. Unless they're tied to your feet real tight, you're probably going to lose them.
Ever there was a ride that actually terrified me is this thing. That was the most inversions I've ever been on in a roller coaster, and it got me good. That was wild. That was wild.
I'm a huge thrill seeker, and not a lot of rides get me anymore these days. But I almost shat my pants riding that roller coaster. Let's talk about Naruto Land. I was not expecting this. The last thing I was expecting, and mind you, I used to be like on the website all the time looking at Fuji Q, and I somehow did not know that they had a Naruto themed theme park inside of the theme park. I feel like that might be new. I could be wrong. But to walk through the park and see the Hidden Leaf Village, I grew up loving that series. I was the biggest Naruto fan. So to see the Hidden Leaf Village like struck me in the childhood. Seeing characters like Kakashi, Naruto, Jiraiya, Shikamaru, all these characters just chilling around different like mini games, getting to go to Ichiraku's ramen shop and eat ramen with characters from the show. That in and of itself was a cool experience. That was good enough for me. That was like a cherry on top of this beautiful Sunday that was Fuji Q. I loved it. There were other little surprises throughout the park too that I did not expect to see, like a whole Evangelion flight experience, which, just a little pro tip, if you're going to go through the experience, try not to get seated in the top row because it just breaks the illusion of the ride. For some reason, the projector screen that they're using in there doesn't really go all the way up. Like, they go too high and you can see where the screen stops, but only if you're in the top row. So it kind of breaks the whole like illusion of you're flying through this world. So the TLDR is Fuji Q is a great park. I don't want to ramble any longer and drag this video out with my unscripted thoughts. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, well, thank you for watching it this far. You are a very tolerant individual. Anyways, I'm Mobby Nerd, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Outlaws, I'm gunning. If you see me coming, don't try running. Let me tell you something. I'm bringing law to this land. Fill your eyes with that sand. When it bursts, leave you blind. I'm the worst. I'm an alchemist. You don't test me. Got the original gat on my wrist. Hear that click? You won't exist when I flow like water. Hit hard like a cannon. Make you fight a flame burst. Make it hot to stand up. It's an honor cause I'm bringing you down like a pal. Your life flashed in a bit. That's a critical hit. They stay stacked. That's a theory, not a query. Hear that? And let's roll, I'ma charge right through your bullet rushing.